we're back. Can I say that? Can I say we're back, considering you probably have no idea who on earth I am, as there are only 3 videos on this channel. Almost a year to the day, I am finally picking up the camera again and coming back to YouTube. So I made this channel on the 23rd of April, 2025. We are now on the 16th of April, 2026. And like I said, there's only 3 videos on there. The original reason I made the channel was because I was doing a fundraiser and the Just Giving page could have a link to a video. So I thought, let me make a channel, let me do a video, let me try my best to raise as much money as possible for the fostering network. So that's where the channel was born from. But then from there, I have so many dreams and aspirations for what this could eventually become. And there's been a lot of life situations that have been going on that have stopped me from coming on camera for a multitude of different reasons, and not just limited to not having a lot of time. More importantly, I've not necessarily had a lot to say on everything that has been happening. And I also wanted to keep my life private as I went through a huge change in my life. Now that I'm feeling more settled, living in Dubai, I thought it was time to actually bring the channel back and do its intended purpose, which is mainly going to be about sharing interesting and impactful stories with my audience. But I'm also going to take you on the journey as an entrepreneur, a business owner, somebody that travels quite a lot. I'm just going to show you unfiltered a little bit of insight into my life alongside those stories. So buckle up. I'm going to take you to Pasquez from 6 a.m. this morning, who did a humble little run.
Right, I have no idea how loud I am actually talking because I've still got my music playing. But it is just past 7 o'clock. We are behind schedule because I just did a 10K, which is not something that is normal in my routine, might I add. One thing that is normal in my routine is to get out on a morning walk with my little man Hercules, wherever he has gone. I am not going to the gym today. I've got a lot on with work and I've got quite a few calls that are a bit more sporadic in my day. That's poor diary management on my side when I was just trying to get things in for people. But with that said, having some form of movement in the morning is probably the best thing that you can do for yourself. It really does set you up right for the day. Like, I feel great. I feel ready to hydrate, get myself in a deep work block and then just crack on. So if you don't already get yourself on a walk, then do so. And if you really need an excuse to do that, buy a dog and be a responsible dog owner. Because my little muffin, hiya, hello. So just because I'm filming today doesn't mean I'm going to make it look perfect and like I'm always on it. I'm just going to be real raw, and whatever happens, happens. Because my days, they do look very similar, especially a rest day. However, I do like a side quest and an occasional plot twist. So today, the plot twist was, well, I guess the side quest was the 10K. And that is the longest distance I have ever run without stopping. And I'm not a runner. This morning, for the first time ever, I've just run a sub 1 hour 10K. I have never, ever, ever ran more than, I think, 7K in one straight run. So I'm really proud of myself. And now we're going to crack on with our day. We are slightly behind schedule because I was not intending to be out that long. I thought I'd be out for 35 minutes max. I've been out for about an hour and a half now. So I'm going to take Hercules home, get myself ready for the day, and crack on with work.
Are you still hearing missiles over there?
No, so the last one was on the 11th of April, and it's been quiet since then. There's a ceasefire. But that's why I booked my flight when I did, because I was like, okay, it's quiet. I'm a bit more comfortable leaving Hercules with a friend here now. When I was in corporate, we did a health and safety event, and one of the speakers there, he specialises in people that have been incarcerated just in terms of reform in general. Now imagine you specialise in people who've been incarcerated, help them with their reform and change them physically as well. And it's relevant to your story, so you can talk about your story. Like, it resonates, doesn't it? With your business, I'd say don't worry about the content right now. I will help you with that, but just worry about the delivery, the business itself. I think you need to get more proof.
Yeah.
Proof that you can do what you say you can do. Obviously, you've done it with yourself, which is great social proof. Get a few more clients from in person.
Next Thursday, I should have found something. Definitely not. If I've still got VHS videos in the app, and there's that little green thing.
Why Wonderful.
The one I really want to find is the BBC one.
That's the most important. Okay.
Okay then, Kez.
Good to talk to you.
Have a good day now, and thanks for the homework.
No problem at all. I will speak to you Sunday or next week. Oh, actually, I can't speak to you on Sunday. I've got a event on Sunday.
No problem.
So I
I'll
will.
speak to you next Thursday then.
Yes, I shall speak to you then.
Okay then, no problem. Have a good day.
Thank you, you too.
Okay, bye.
Bye, bye. So I speak to my dad. Let's change up that angle, shall we? Driving me slightly insane how much stuff is on the side, but we're gonna feed Hercules. Just pretend that's not there. I'll get rid of it in a second. Feed Hercules, drink our electrolytes, and then get on with this work block. So I am one of those people, I really do not like texting. I don't value it in the same way as actually speaking to someone. I just don't think you can connect in the same way as seeing someone face to face. My compromise since I moved to Dubai is FaceTime, because again, if I'm going to speak to someone from back home, I want to see them. So me and my dad, we do try and speak once a week. When my mom's not working nights, she also joins. And as I've gotten older, the relationship with my parents just continues to strengthen, which I think is really nice, considering I've had quite a colourful background. The relationship that we now have actually shocks quite a lot of people on the basis of some of the things that have happened in our past. But I will go into that one day on here and unpack it a bit, because I think there's so many life lessons that you can take from the story itself. And most importantly, is that you can heal relationships as adults. It's something that we should all strive to do, is to have positive relationships with our family as best we can. But I do also appreciate that it is a really hard thing to do, especially if there is any adversity or whatever happens. So one day I shall tell the story over here. But in the meantime, more importantly, the thing that Hercules cares about is his food. So I think this is chicken today. He normally has a mixture, raw, completely raw fed. Sorry, not glamorous feeding my dog. However, it's the most important part of his day, so I'll share it with you. Oh, are you complaining already? Spinny's chicken. Spinny's is the equivalent of Waitrose, guys. Give him another piece. I'm gonna treat myself to a nice tea. Okay, we're gonna come down to Herky level. Aren't we, Herc? Right. Hercules is a lockdown baby, so he's quite smart. He does know his tricks. Doesn't always listen. He's very stubborn. Are you going to listen today? Would you like your breakfast? Would you? Right. Sit. Have your chin. Lie down. Dig. Up, up, up. Sit. Spin. Lie down. Dig. 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 Chin. Chin, paw, spin, paw, paw, paw. I want your paw. He does this. He knows what I'm asking for. Paw. Give me your paw. Give me your paw. Good boy, ready. Break. And in 0.2 seconds, the chicken is already gone. Anyway. Okay, so I am just having a quick break because I can feel myself beginning to fade. I can see it in my content, and we don't want that. So I'm just going to have a break instead, give myself 5 minutes. I've not really looked at my phone all morning other than the FaceTime that I had with my dad. So I'm just responding to a few messages whilst I get myself up off of my seat, move around a little bit. And there's a couple of things that I like to do with this. One, mobile device. I don't sleep with this in my bedroom. I don't. It does not belong in my bedroom. It stays out here so that when I am winding down to sleep, I go straight to sleep. I can sleep on a washing line nowadays. I used to have really bad insomnia, lots of issues with sleep in the past. Now I can sleep pretty much instantaneously. And one of the best life hacks is getting your phone out of your bedroom. Also means in the morning, it stays on Do Not Disturb. It means you don't actually have to look at your phone in the morning either. So I got out, did my run, walked Hercules, came back in, and then at that point did I check my phone, get on a call with my dad, and yeah. Since then, I've not really looked at it. I have a love-hate relationship with these devices, by the way. One, they give me the ability to have the job that I have, to stay connected with people whilst living abroad. However, I also find that they are the greatest distraction in this day and age. And if anything, they can make you too accessible at times. So learning to have discipline with your phone, I think, is probably the biggest life hack that you can have. For me, that means parenting myself with it. I know a lot of people that download apps, that block apps, and they look at screen time, they have reminders set. There's so many different powerful things that you can do on this to stop yourself from falling into a doom trap. And yeah, don't download TikTok. Do consume my reels on Instagram. But don't doom scroll everyone else. Turn on my notifications, watch mine, and then support my clients too. Anyway, that was a 3-minute fucking ramble for you of my love-hate relationship with technology, which is so ironic. I am a great paradox of contradictions, and the older I get, the more I realise, the more I have. Anyhow, let me go back to actually replying to messages. And do you want to come up? Come on, Herx. We're going to sit with Hercules for a minute whilst I reply to messages, because my boy needs some attention. Come here. Come here. Ready? So we're now sat with Hercules. Do you want to come here? This is the greatest thing of my life. I have just had a shoot book in for Tuesday, which is a really nice one because this is a reoccurring client. We tend to shoot probably every 3 months or so. Now, everybody's got different needs, but it always makes me feel good when a client comes back. So I've got my regular brand partners. They are my retainer clients. They are people that I consistently work with every single month. And most of the time, they're also the type of clients that are going to be flying me out to whatever location that they are doing so that we can capture all of that. And I have had the most amazing experiences with my brand partners. You know, I've flown out to Toronto. Of course, when I lived in the UK, I got flown out to Dubai. I've got plans with one of them currently to go to Portugal. So there is a lot of opportunity with my retainer clients, but it's a very small number of people that I work with there to keep that service nice and high for them. And then I have my reoccurring clients, so anyone that's previously shopped with me and that comes back, which is always a blessing. And then I have clients that I solely work with from a content strategy perspective, which is all remote. And yeah, I've really started to find my feet with the business now in terms of the direction that I want to go in. Of course, when I started Zenith Vision, it wasn't even set out with the idea of a business in mind. It started as photography, quickly evolved into the videography space. And then 2024 was the year that I decided I was going to go all in and quit my full-time job, relocate to a new country, and really give this a good go. So I've learned so much from the creative side to running a business, and then also utilizing my strength from being a senior manager in the corporate space and actually applying that professionalism into videography. Now, when I say that, I don't mean making things boring. What I mean is thinking about pre-production before we start filming, making sure we've got an actual strategy to go in with so that we can get the most out of our shoot. Also, looking at data to drive decision making so that we are just not shooting in the dark every single month. These are all things that have always set Zenith Vision apart from videographers. Is we have a system. We are all about making sure that my clients get a good return on investment. They also get portrayed in the right light. We use a story as a superpower, and all of it came from, one, my background in the corporate space, but two, my inherent natural desire to learn about people, understanding their reason why behind why they do things, and then transforming that into a story and putting it out into the world, because every single one of us has a story. I don't care what anybody tells me. It doesn't matter how much perceived privilege that someone looks like they've had. Everybody's got a story, and it can be your greatest strength and superpower. You can use whatever your story is as fuel into creating something different, into making the life that you want to live, or you can use your story as the reason why you can't do something and the reason why you won't move forward with something in life. You can be a victim to your circumstances if you want to. And I very much believe that in a lot of cases, especially in the Western world, it's a choice. Controversial, but I do. I believe it's a choice. And why do I love working with business owners and entrepreneurs? Because all of them have that drive to take whatever life lessons they've had and turn it into their own vision and create their own reality. So yeah, I am very blessed that I get to work with some exceptional individuals that have built phenomenal businesses, and there is just this inherent drive and ambition. It's one of the reasons why I also love Dubai, because there is just such a big pool of people with that mindset in quite a small location, whereas we still do see that in the UK, but it's a wider spread area. And also society norms in the UK don't normalise this. They normalise the opposite. They normalise what I built for myself before, which is having the 4-bedroom house, having a husband, having the dogs, starting to prepare to having children, all of that stuff. Had it? It wasn't for me. It wasn't for me. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Long term, in the future, yes, I want to create a life with someone. I want to build a family with someone. However, that traditional path wasn't right for me. So anyway, that's enough rambling. This is 14 minutes long. Kez, film your reels. Finish filming your reels. This is how kings live. How are you, darling? Have you had a good day? What have you been doing? You've not done much, have you? You've been sleeping. Honestly, I wish I was him. It's 11 o'clock. It's time for me to have my first meal because I'm starving, and I'm also going to do my daily stoic whilst I'm at it. So I'm bored of normal angles, so we're going to put you up there. But I have a confession. And I still have not turned my gas on. So I've lived in Dubai for 9 months and I've not cooked once, not driven anywhere because I don't own a car. So Dubai Princess is real. She is very much a kept independent woman. But I have a meal prep that arrives at my door every single day. You can call it lazy if you want to. I don't mind being called lazy. It's more ease out of any other reason. So I get 3 meals a day. Today we've got chicken katsu, which looks sensational. But I'm really hungry right now and I don't know whether I can be bothered to heat up. Wow, that makes me sound really bad. I don't know whether I want to heat up the chicken in the air fryer so that it's nice and crispy. So I'm going to eat my chicken pasta instead, which is dangerous because I've got beige trousers on and I'm clumsy. And yes, I am going to eat my food on my sofa with my dog rather than at the breakfast bar that you are currently sat on. Real life realness. But anyway, Fit Meals, UAE. I used to have a meal prep company that was all custom, so you can tell them the exact measurements that you want. However, I was just getting a little bit bored of chicken and rice, and I've been in fitness for a hot minute at this point, but I haven't competed since 2022. I just had a moment where I was like, why am I still treating my life like I'm a bodybuilder? I'm not a bodybuilder, as you can see from this morning's run. I do try and maintain somewhat of a certain caliber of physique, if you like. But I actually want my muscle to be functioning now, whereas when I was in bodybuilding, of course, it was all just for the aesthetic. So yeah, this one is a lot quicker, hell of a lot quicker than cooking your own food, which means I can spend my time focusing on the business, focusing on going to the gym and training, spending time with Hercules, because the hours in the day just feel like they're getting shorter and shorter and I don't have enough of them. So this takes away any distraction of having to cook food. It also keeps me on track because it means every single week during the weekday, I won't order food out because I've got my meal prep already here. I know that it's going to keep me under, I think I'm on the breakfast plan at the moment. So that's about 1,400 calories in meal prep a day. I do have some other food separately to that. Maybe I'll show you, don't know. But it keeps me accountable. It keeps me feeling fueled because I actually have a terrible, terrible habit of, if I'm busy, I won't eat, rather than a habit of overeating. Don't get me wrong, I love a sweet treat and I will order cookies too often. And I'll have a muffin every time I go to the gyms that's not my local one. So I try and stay in my local gym as well because I can't help myself. Well, I can, but I'm choosing not to. I've lived the restrictive kind of bodybuilding lifestyle and I don't have a desire to anymore. I could if I wanted to, but I just don't want to. And look at that, this is glorious. She yapped and then her food was ready. Look at that, isn't that stunning? Stunning. My little boy, how are you? Oh, how are you? Aren't you just a good lad? Should we do our daily stoic? You're so handsome. You are just so scrummy. You are.
Hey, just making rackets. Sorry, were you filming?
No, good. How are you?
Yeah, okay.
Oh, look at the colour.
Oh, do you think? I feel like I've lost it already.
Already? You've been back like...
Honestly.
Alice has just popped it in and we've had a little break from work. We've gone for a nice walk around the block with Hercules. And now I'm about to jump into my next work block where we are focusing mainly on content strategies. And then this evening I will be moving into editing. I am flagging a little bit now. So I have just ordered a coffee only because I've run out of milk. So speed, all of that jazz. I've ordered a coffee. I shouldn't be ordering coffee, but anyway, there you are. Ordered a coffee. I'm going to jump on this call now. My energy tends to pick up after I've been on the phone to someone because I get overexcited about things. So I am sure after this, I will be back up to a higher energy self, of course. Caffeine and good conversation is the winning combination to waking myself up for today because I'm tired. I have a very loving relationship with my desk. Had my call, which was fantastic. We've got a good plan of action going into our next shoot. I also had my Coffee Planet. I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 10 because it really was not that strong, but a privilege nonetheless. And this is a very nice little box they brought it in. Sorry, I didn't show you the actual coffee. I was in the middle of a meeting when it actually arrived. Professional, unprofessional, don't know. I'm sure all of my clients would rather me be caffeinated or not because I'm already a bit of a golden retriever without caffeine. Anyway, I'm now going to spend a little bit of time just getting back to messages, responding to all of my clients, responding to a few inquiries, dropping out a little bit of DMs. And then I'm going to jump into an editing rabbit hole for the rest of the evening. And yeah, I'm hoping to finish up and wrap up work by about 8 p.m, walk Hercules, and then wind down for the evening and get myself to bed nice and early. I also do need to pack my camera bag. That's basically it. So I am very much new to being on YouTube, so please just drop me a subscribe. It only takes 2 minutes of your time and it supports me in this little channel. I'm going to take you through a little bit of my life, but more importantly, I'm going to be dropping a lot of value when it comes to content creation, as well as sharing some super inspirational stories along the way too. So drop me a subscribe. I was going to say follow. Subscribe for more. Oh my God, I'm weird. She should not have caffeine, especially not past like 5 p.m.